Hello, Blender folks. Welcome and welcome back. This is Xenomes. This is a great moment because this is the first online workshop of all times that I'm making in 2025, and will be slightly experimental. It will be a short one, but according to the amount of content that I've made just for this custom ARM custom rig, right? So it might take a little while, but we'll complete it. I'm confident we can do it. So basically, this is an online workshop that you can follow up in real time, live stream, like right now, if you have if you know how it works and you have everything ready, or you can watch that later, right? Just like maybe an interactive tutorial, right? So the main idea is here. I'm gonna show it because just the first time, but we're gonna just start very soon. So basically, there is this thing that is called the YouTube Miniplayer, and this YouTube Miniplayer is this thing here. Let's see. So you see, I have this video here, whatever. Well, it will be my video, my own video. Then you see, I'm using Firefox, right? Mozilla Firefox. But you have this shortcut, mini players, this icon here. Click it here. Then you'll end up with some video here, this mini player here, but it's not this one. It is actually, you need to click not this one, but this hidden one here. And so it's another button here, and then this picture-in-picture thing will appear here, and then this is the mini player, picture-in-picture. So this one, you can place it anywhere in the screen. It is a always on top feature and window, right, pop-up, and we can place it like this. Right, I mean Blender. So imagine this is the stream, and then you can be watching it, and it won't be a problem with the size because I'll be using this feature here, which will allow inside Blender. You'll see, well, it is the zooming. No, hold on. There should be something. Maybe I forgot the shortcut. Hold on. Okay, so I have a little problem here. This is it's the zooming feature. Oh, I know why. Okay, now here, this one. It's just a wrong thing in OBS Studio. Okay, so this means that the video will be zoomed for you enough so that you can follow up, right? And I'll be doing this very slowly, the tutorial, the presentation, the workshop, so you can follow up. So there are more content in all our instructions in the video description, but essentially you need Blender. There is the blend file, this one I'm using right now, and there will be the mini player, right? So the mini player, this one here, right? So you need to get it to make it work. Then you can anytime, right, adjust so whichever, place it where it fits better for you. Okay, let's return here. So just don't close these things. You can minimize this stuff, and I put all these instructions there. So essentially that's how this works. So I'm just presenting this because the first time, but okay, let's go back here. And so now let's begin with the workshop. Also, just one thing that is left is that you see that the blend file has these scenes. So each scene, it's actually called stage. So it's like the steps of the tutorial of the workshop. So I'm starting, of course, on stage 1. So you should follow this up, and you see on the top of the video, somewhere there. In the stream there is stage 2. So there's a stage indication of which stage is. So that means that I will be working on stage 1 right now, and at some point I might update to the next stage 2. You see there, stage 3, and so forth, right? So that now we are stage 1. So this means that anywhere you don't need to start from the beginning. You can wait for if you arrive late during the stream, live stream, you can just wait for the next stage, get yourself ready. Maybe you can you have time to get it, and you can start from any stage because you just change the scene and you have there's progress, right? On one, everything is prepared in this way. So the blend file is free. So let's start here essentially. So sorry for the delay here. Now we can begin. So get your stuff ready and let's begin at once. All right, let me just see if everything is correct. Yes, it seems that everything is right. Okay, so for this custom arm rig, you see that we don't have the arm here. I have this character. You can use it, doesn't matter. There's a base mesh basically, and there are some waves in this thing. So what I'm gonna do here is that I'm gonna build an arm rig that will be added, that will connect this hand rig with this stuff here, and in this way we'll be able to make the rig function already. So I'm calling that the master puppeteering skeleton, but we're not gonna build those stuffs, they're already built. We're just gonna build the arm and from this condition here. So let's tab on, select, okay, so select the armature object, go on edit mode, right? Tab to edit mode. And so if you are using the bone collections, then you'll see that we have some collections here. So I have the deformation bones, all of them are here. And we have the control rig bones, which are these blue ones here. So then we have some subdivisions that are the master. Well, for the master we just, this one, let's click, this was the root. So let's just shift M. It is actually a shortcut for the assign a selected bones to collection. So just assign to the master. All right, there's just a little mistake here. All right, so if you don't have the extension of Bone Manager add-on, right, so you can still get the same features here, essentially the same features that I'm using here. So the master bones, the control skeleton bones, and just getting familiar here. Okay. So we're gonna extrude from the deform rig actually. So we're just gonna click this star here. Let's get this screen to zoom and let's see if that is correct. I think this should be, yes, this should be all the time, right? It would be better, right? So now let's click the collection here, right? The deformed skeleton collection. Let's click here in this joint. So there is the neck deformed bone and there is the chest deformed bone. So we're gonna, whichever, it doesn't matter here because we're gonna unparent everything that we're gonna extrude from here. So we can do this from the front view also, might be easier. So here we're gonna extrude the deformed skeleton. I'm already unparent here, so Alt P, clear parent, and I'm not gonna rename, but we can, I have a Control 3 as a shortcut to show this bone axis. So you can do this by going on the data tab here, then let's see, viewport display panel, and so you got axis. So what I like to do is shortcut Control 3, right? So you can right mouse button click here and you get to change or assign shortcut, and you can do what you want, but for me it's Control 3, so it's very easy to swap those things, right? All right, and then we are gonna continue. So I'm gonna reset the role here already, so Alt R. But if you see from the side view, these bones, you see it's not good. It is tilted in this way. This can work, but it might not be good enough. So instead of Alt R, which is the clear role, we're gonna Alt after Shift N, right? So it's recalculate role operator, and we want to go straight up orthogonal to the world global positive z-axis, right? So we're gonna, so see now this is aligned properly. Okay, so we are in this here. We're gonna place this more or less like in the continuation of the torso, upper torso here. So not here, because the arm, right, you see the structure of the shoulder with the upper arm joint, it will be like somewhere maybe here. So this is, I'm still investigating what is better, but there is this notion that you don't place it here. Here maybe it could work anywhere here, but I think that because of, imagine a line here, something like here, something, I think somewhere about here would be nice. Maybe let's try here. All right, so then we continue extrude. So this will be the upper arm, and then we're gonna extrude again to reach this. This don't need to be fully aligned like straight. Now this is not necessary, although for inverse kinematics bone constraint later on this may matter, but for now we can do this. And here for the wrist joint, we're gonna place about here. So if I check the mesh, it's important. So I have a shortcut for these overlays. So got in the overlays pop over menu and geometry wireframe. So we can get, for example, this add to quick favorites, or assign shortcut for me. It's Shift Control Alt Z, right? So you can easily access this from any mode, I think. Object mode, it also works. Edit mode, pose mode. Yeah, I think it. So here we're gonna place it more or less here exactly in this edge loop joint, right? That should deform a little better, but we could consider also here. But anywhere about this edge loop should be fine. And now from the top view, numpad 7, we're gonna try to get this thing properly aligned here. Same here for this. We actually here we're gonna place this slightly more to the back, so closer to the elbow, where the elbow is sticking out from the arm. Then here we can just make a small adjustment. Let's get it here. Okay. Then here also, here will be a little difficult because the head is in front, so we could hide the head. But it would need a mask modifier probably. So instead we're gonna try to find out some adjustment here. We're gonna, so for these joints like C, actually, like, okay, so unselect all bones, then press C, which is this, it's this option here. So you're gonna just click here with the left mouse button and you get these joints, GY, and then we can reposition these joints, right? Because these are connected bones, right? So we're gonna place them somewhere about here. This sounds good. It might be okay if it is a bit protruded here, but no, I don't like too much. So let's do the same GY. Let's try to give it this sort of alignment. Let's see from all angles, different angles. Let's see from straight top. Let's disable the axis here. Control 3 for me. Yeah, so you can move it here. We can see what is better. So let's try to maintain it about here. Okay. So now for these ones, we're gonna do the same here. Show the axis again. Control 3. Then, or your shortcut for it. Then let's Shift N. Recalculate row for again global positive z-axis. All right, so now they are really facing up their z-axis, but we're gonna do something with these two bones, the upper arm and the forearm. We're gonna control R, which is to it's roll, right? Control the roll on edit mode. And then we're gonna, instead of doing this, we're just gonna give a 90 degrees. It's not right that, let's cancel. Control R, negative 90 degrees. So this is like in Rigify add-on generated rig. The bones, they are oriented in a way that the z-axis is really pointing towards the bending, the main bending direction, right? So this is why the z-axis pointing here. I like this setup, and you see the fingers, including the z-axis of the phalanxes of the joint of the bones, they are all pointing downward, including the metacarpals. For the hand bone, I'll do the same thing. So they're all pointing downwards, straight, like it will be shift N, this one, right? Global negative z-axis. And as for this one, I did also, here we can just reset the roles, but I'm just showing here Alt R and then Control R. So we're gonna try to get them more or less like this orientation, so they are slightly different from the finger. So, and this one we're gonna rotate it like here. This is a metacarpal, and these are the phalanxes, just two phalanx for the thumb, while the fingers, they have 3 phalanxes on this character, which is a humanoid, but it's not it's stylized, right? So all right, so don't reset the roles because this will break this setup. So this is good to know. So we are relying on specific roles. So it's cool when you can reset roles and they give you, like in these ones, right? You can reset the roles and they are fine. But sometimes we just can't do this. Like it happens for the limbs, that for the arms bones, which are the bones go in the x-axis, right, orientation, and then if you reset the roles, and if they are not orthogonal towards space, totally aligned with that, like these bones, the reset role will be creepy. It will be like diagonalized. We don't see it very well here, but you see it's diagonalized, yeah. So I'm gonna Control Z that. Okay, so sorry folks, this is just some explanation here. This doesn't seem very well. Let's G return here to the top, a little more here. Okay, all right, so these are the bones, the deformed skeleton here. I forgot about the hand, so we can already make a hand bone here. So extrude here, Y, and no, sorry, X, and let's place it about here. I want the bone to follow the orientation of the mesh, so we're gonna GZ this tail joint and gonna just place it here, and that will be it. Then I'm gonna select the body of the skeleton hand bone and gonna clear parent, Alt P, because we don't want to have it connected to the rest of the body, this of the arm. This will cause some trouble, so we're gonna connect this later. So right now I'm gonna change this b-bone size, b-bone stuff here. So I have a shortcut for this. I think it's the default, but it's this bone invalid for some reason, and there's have this gizmo. I just drag the left mouse button, but I don't like using this tool, so instead there's a shortcut that we can use, that is it is in armature transform. For me it's scale b bone, so Shift Control Alt A, and so Shift Control Alt A, then I can resize here. But there's another trick here. Let's make it quite big here for this hand. I want it to make it like flattened, like the foot bone here. So we're gonna control the b-bone scale with this feature, Shift Control Alt A, and then you need to press X, so it will be in one direction. For some reason it doesn't seem to be okay. Shift Control Alt Z, A, sorry, and then Z. Okay, the Z, sorry, X or something else. So here, need to zoom in. Let's do it again. Then Z. All right, so we're gonna make it very flat. It's funny. Then we're gonna, yeah, something about here. If I need any change there, and then Shift Control Alt A again, and then for the Shift Control Alt A, then for the X, which is the X, it's depth, where the you see it's up and down, right? So we're gonna, yeah, just keep it. This should be fine, right? All right, something like that. So now it's time to rename these bones. Actually, we're gonna end panel. Okay, we are building them in the deformed skeleton, very important. So I don't need to change them. But you see, if I, okay, they are already in here and in here, both in this bone collections. That's good. Okay, so I'm gonna keep here, and we're going to now change their names. You see that in spite of the fact that I have this on edit mode, applies change to matching bone on opposite side of x-axis, we are gonna actually not symmetrize them yet. So I'm gonna grab this. Okay, we see that this is not parented. Also, I have a shortcut for relationship lines here. Control 2 instead of you can assign here. So this allows us to check on this. So it's very important. So I'm got this on, right? Relationship lines. And now we see that this is not parented. So that's good. If you check here for the bone, we got the relations, and you see no parent. So now we are gonna change this name. So select both of them with hold shift, well, select all them with the left mouse button. Click, then with all of them selected, Control F2, batch rename, right? Operator, then or region here. Then you're gonna click this thing, B for bones. It will be here, but B updates it automatically, right? It's faster. Then type find and replace. Indeed, you're gonna change them to actually, let's cancel here because I need to check their names. So Control 1 is my shortcut for this other thing, which is viewport display. It's show names. So it's Control 1 change shortcut or assign shortcut to Control 1. So you can easily access here. So let's go back now and select hand bone, this and this. Okay, they have this weird chest names. I forgot the shoulder bone. Okay, so we're gonna Control F2, and we're gonna find and replace. Yeah, B here. Find and replace. We're gonna instead of def 2, which is for me, it's for the torso region. We're gonna def 4. These are for the arms region. So this is a way to classify, sorting by names the vertex groups, the deformed vertex groups. We don't use this. I don't use this for the control bones or anything else, just for the deformed bones. And so this already, and we're gonna, yeah, just this for now. Then we're gonna select this one, gonna call it. I also need to do this because if we check now go back to the, yeah, go click the mesh. If we look for in the vertex groups panel here, in the data tab, we have the I have already wave painted deformed bones here for example, for the shoulder, upper arm, left and right, and also we have for the hand and forearm. Yeah, here's not very well organized. We can improve this, but this is okay. So you see how this works. So here's the arm stuff, def 4. Def 3 is for the legs, and then def 2 is the body, and def 1 is the torso, and def 1 is for the head, like eye bones, whatever, for everything that's on the head, the face. Maybe not the hair. Well, this depends, but here would be for me def 5, but that's okay. This is just my own classification. Okay, let's go back here. So we're gonna rename this, select the armature object, and then let's go on edit mode, then tab to edit mode. Then we're gonna F2 here individually, because we're gonna get shoulder dot left already. We can get this thing. Then here upper arm. This needs to be exactly named as there, because otherwise it won't catch the vertex groups, which are right now don't have any for arm. Yeah, I do like that. Dot left, and for the hand is just hand. Oh, and if you don't know, you can right mouse button click the bone and what it is, the names, auto name, left, right. Yeah, you can do this. So now you have the dot left thing. So they are not symmetrized. That's fine. Let's control 1 this, take off these names. Let's also shift control alt Z, or the thing for the overlays of the geometry wireframes. We have a clear vision here. Okay, so you see these are parented connected. We don't want that. So let's just make sure we disconnect everything, alt P, and clear, alt P, clear parent. Okay, so now if I go tab to pose mode 2, you see that I can indeed control these meshes here. And we're not gonna connect here the hand yet, unfortunately. We need to keep building this stuff. So right now we have this. We're gonna, with the right name, we pick everything here with shift and left mouse button click, and then I'm gonna shift D. This we're gonna make immediately the control rig. So we're gonna apply that. Okay, then shift control alt A, this is the B-bone scale, right? So we're gonna scale everything here, right? We're gonna make them quite big. We're also gonna change here in the bone tab their colors. So remember to batch with hold alt. We're gonna change this. I'm using this one for hold alt, and use this theme here, this theme. Or you can, if you forget something, you can always do the right mouse button click, copy to selected. Right here is not needed, but that's it. So you see, we're gonna, before we deselect this, we're gonna also alt M, which is actually my shortcut for moving, because they were made in the deformed skeleton bone collection. So for me it will be move to bone collection. I've made this to, this one actually, alt M. I don't know, the default is M, but I think it's different. So I've made move collection alt M, and aside collection, this is the default, I think it's shift M. So I'm gonna do alt M, so it will totally move these bones to only the control bones of the arm here to the control skeleton. And now that it is here, we're also gonna, okay, so just to make sure this is true, if I check this, we see that they are no more here, the solo option, right? We see they are not here anymore, and we see that they are here, but they are solely here. So we're gonna do instead, we're gonna, they are still selected, so we're gonna shift M. This time is assigned to a different collection, so it was like cloning, not duplicate, but just assigning to. So shift M to the control, the main one. So the only reason this is required is that let's use this one just for a variation trick. You see, it's just that we can see all the control bones from this, or just parts of it. Yeah, so this is the control skeleton, is all here. So I'm gonna just pick yeah, I'm gonna go and work on this collection. Gonna just pick this one. We're gonna reset this role. So go to this bone tab here. Bendy bones, it is here. So we're gonna like let's reset here and here. Oh, this doesn't work. So actually they become pointy stuff. So 0.01 maybe. Okay, like, you know, hold. It's hard a little. Hold down, right, and then you can hold shift. Then you can. Okay. So this bone, we're gonna do this different. This one, because yeah, let's shift Control Alt Z here. Let's B bone scale it down, but we're gonna actually change its display bone type, because I'm using Blender 4.5. I can do this. So if you're not, you can't do this, but if you are, so I've even used this. So you see the bone tab, we can by individual bones, or the selected bones, we can change their type. So even I made a shortcut for this already. I've made Shift Alt B. B for bone, so it's easy to remember. Shift Alt B, so that's display type. So you can assign whatever you want. I made it Shift Alt B because the other one, for all the viewport displayed stuff, this one I've made change shortcut. For me, this one is Shift Control Alt B. So everything is stick, or everything is envelope, or Shift Control B, or everything is octahedral, or everything is B bone. Yeah, whatever, B bone. So everything is B bone. And then, or we can say, isn't there a, no, yeah. So B bone by default, but then this one is a reduced version. So I've made just Shift Alt B. It's a bit weird, but the other ones didn't work, so this one works. Shift Alt B for this one, and we're gonna swap to stick, because this will be a special bone. It's no more a control bone actually, so we're gonna change even this color. I'm using this one. This is very rare, so I think I've made this. Yeah, this is customized, but use whatever you want. Something that is weird, that whatever. Maybe this, maybe this, maybe this. I'm using this theme one here. So it's a very special bone. This one will hold the IK bone constraint on this custom rig. So we're gonna what we're gonna do now, we're gonna move it again because it is wrong. It's gonna go to a mechanism rig collection. So open the end panel here, or the bone collections here, right? You can, we're gonna make a mechanism rig here in between the control rig and the deform rig. So we're gonna call it mechanism, and we're gonna now move this Alt M into the mechanism, and I'm gonna create a new collection. We're gonna indent it, that is parent, right? I think it'll have something here, right? I think we can drag it inside. Yeah, so it will be here or here for this add-on. Actually, sorry, bring it here, then indent it, parent here. Okay, I'm gonna call this MIMCH skeleton. Yeah, so it's like the skeleton for the mechanism rig. So we're gonna this needs to be on pose mode here, otherwise they lose their color. So just right mouse button click here. I'm using this yellowish for the mechanism rig. These ones, the base ones, can be set to white or black, whatever, because they are major ones. Okay, so this contains this. We're gonna shift them, assign this also to, you see it's already in mechanism. We don't want to negate it. We want to subtract. We want to add to the mechanism skeleton. So now it is either here or here. So it is in both here. All right, okay. So we're gonna, now that we've got this special bone and this collection, let's save here. We're gonna do something, because this, yeah, the names, right? So first, this we'll call this mechanism, MCH, right? Mechanism key owner, IKO, hyphen hand left, and take this off. All right, so this will be our special. There will be an IKey owner and an IKey target, IKey T, IKey O. But I'm not gonna do the IKey T yet, so because this is very important now. We're gonna see the parenting relations here. We see that, okay, relationship lines is on, Control 2, remember. We're gonna connect it to this control here, and this we're gonna parent it, Control P, make connected to the upper arm, control upper arm. Then I'm gonna change their names in a moment, and the upper arm to the shoulder, control shoulder, and the control shoulder we're gonna parent to the spine, and this will create a little problem, but we're gonna fix it soon. So this one we're gonna just, yeah, this happens because it doesn't know where the both are connected parenting here, right? You see, so it doesn't know which one, but we're gonna cheat that. So basically what we're gonna do is that we're gonna make Blender understand that, but first we're gonna rename these three ones. So select all of them three, Control F2, already set to bones here. So instead of def 4, we're gonna call control, and so this is the control skeleton for the master puppeteering skeleton, which I call. And then we got this addition here, and we're gonna strip characters, hold shift for digits, punctuation, and end. So this will take off all their .001 things at the very end, right? So okay, and here we got control 1. So you see control shoulder, control upper arm, control forearm, and something there which is shift H, mech ICO, and okay, whatever. So alt H, let's unhide. Okay, so now we're gonna just symmetrize this one. Right mouse button, click on it, and with it as the selected one, and symmetrize just the shoulder bone. It's not connected apparently to the bone tab relations. You see, I put the relations on the very top of the, you see, hold this, grab this thing, we can place it there, right? So deform bone also is very good to be at the very top, because it's easy to, it's very important too. Also viewport display I like. And okay, viewport display, no, it's not this relations. We see it's not connected, so it's symmetrized, but it didn't kept connection. So we're gonna just connect it here. And you see now this one is connected, this one is connected. Sometimes you have to check if they are really connected. So here this is where stuff happened, but don't worry, this is because of this this thing. But anyways, we need this on edit mode for the most part. And then we what we're gonna do is that we're gonna grab this bone, F2. You see the spines are bendy bones, right? So gonna, yeah, F2 for the control neck, and I'm gonna copy this name here, control C, ESC. Then you're gonna go for the control chest bone, and you're gonna go on the bone tab and go for bendy bones. We're not gonna mess with anything here. We're just gonna bring this in here, the handle. So the end handle, which is, they are going pointing upward, right? So we're gonna use absolute here instead, and we're gonna control V, the control neck bone here. So it's like forcing the bone to orient itself with automatic. It's a sort of automatic, because actually the automatic is for connected parenting, just as they are right now. So there is, so okay, control tab to pose mode 2. And now something very important, I'm gonna show you, because this is all just a quick tip on the how this control skeleton works, is that I'm using an option on tool on pose mode, which is pose options, is the fabulous Auto I key option. So I made a shortcut for this. It is, for me, it is Alt X, just as that. So change shortcut Alt X. So I can immediately turn it on and off. So how this works like this. So let's grab, for example, the head. And so now remember, all the bones in blue are connected, except for those in the fingers, right? Control 1 here. Let's hide these names, right? These names here. Viewport display, yeah, these things. Okay, now we're gonna grab the head with G, and I don't have Auto I key option, so we're gonna turn it on. I recommend you to make a shortcut. For me, it's Alt X. I found out it was free, so I'll be using Alt X from now on. So now it's off, now it's on, Alt X. And if I grab now, this will happen. I have spontaneous I key inverse kinematics posing from the head. But if I use the mouse wheel, I hope your mouse have a mouse wheel that is working. You can change this option Auto I key length. So you see it's 2 here. So if I go up on the mouse wheel, right, it is set to, it becomes 0, which means it's infinite, just as it's chain length 0 of I key bond constraint. Let's ask here. Let's see more of what's happening here to the body. Okay, so you see it's grabbing everything, but it doesn't matter right now. So I can reduce this to 1. So 1 is just the bone itself. 2, so it's the head plus the, we can rotate here, G, the head plus the neck. 3, the head plus the neck and the chest. 4, so the spine, and then it goes nuts because the rig is not completed. But anyways, select all. Yeah, unselect all. Alt A, select all. Just make sure that you have Alt Q. This is reset all poses, all transforms. Actually, this is clear transforms all. So I've made this Alt Q transform. So it's a assign shortcut. Alt Q resets everything. So all transform, like translation, like the grabbing, rotation, scale, everything. You select all, Alt Q. There we go. So much better, right? So instead of Alt R, Alt R, Alt G, Alt S all the time, super annoying. No, Alt Q. Okay, so we can change the Auto I key length, and it depends always on the bone that we select. Right, so here, this only works with connected parenting. So if you want, so you can do this. If you want, select all, Alt Q, we can disconnect the shoulder, like leave it disconnected. This is optional. It's not my ideal solution, but this will prevent the Auto I key length to extend beyond the shoulder, but we can still make the rig work. So see, if I grab the spine, we can still do that, but it's not the same. Okay, by the way, you can still rotate, right? And rotate doesn't activate the the auto I key. It's just grabbing that activates it. All right. So it's very important. So okay, select all, Alt Q, reset all, clear all transforms. So let's continue here because there is more to be done here. Let's connect again. Let's pick both just to make sure. Control P, connected. And let's test. Control Tab 2 for pause mode. You see that I'm able to grab here, ask, and I'm able to grab here, ask. All right, we're gonna add in the end an I key bound constraint because it's fundamental for the I key pinning on this custom rig, because auto I key option is sort of limited, but it's pretty cool and it gives additional features that the I key bound constraint doesn't have. It's very stiff, so this is why this rig will make sense when we complete it. So here what we need to do is that hold on folks, do I have anything in the chat? No, sorry. So now in order to continue here, it's time to make some parenting adjustments here. So I'm gonna select the bond manager tab if you're using bond collection. So I just want to make sure that we've got the proper parenting for the deform rig. So I'm gone here, could be here too, right? So, and I need the I don't need the mechanism, but I need the control rig. So the skeleton, the control skeleton, and the deform skeleton. Okay, both this. So I'm gonna go on edit mode here, and I'm gonna start doing this thing. I pick, so start clicking on twice, 1, 2, onto the bone, right? Hovering over the bone, the cursor. Then shift left click on the control and bone, and then control P. So keep offset. So what I'm doing is that I'm parenting the deform, click once, click twice, just the deform upper arm bone. So it's I'm just making them parenting to offset, right, to the control skeleton one by one. So now the forearm, and so if you can't select them like this, then just hold Alt, left mouse button click, select the one that we want from this select menu thing. I'm still holding Alt, but you can just unhold, right? I've dropped it. So click this one, and now Shift Alt again if there are many bones to select, like in the case like here, and left mouse button click, and then I want this time the control forearm. So now it has both, and then control P for make parent keep offset. All right, so now if I rotate the control skeleton, we'll see that the deform rig is following. We're gonna reparent the deform rig to a mechanism skeleton rig later, but it will be it is an optional thing, but I think it's an improvement. It makes the rig more regular, which will be good. So for now we're building this because it's simpler to visualize what you're doing. So it's still not connecting anything here. Now that we've got this, we need to okay folks, here I've just forgot what is the next step here. Let's look for, let me just see what we have here. Okay, I went so far, I've created, okay, mechanism IK target, all right, and there will be probably some IK bond, yeah, so okay, so we're about to end stage 1, folks. So basically, congrats if you could follow up here. So sorry it was a little slow here, but we're gonna actually, we're going to go back to the and sidebar region and panel, look for the mechanism skeleton, okay, this one, and you see this is connected parenting to the control skeleton, right? So it's as if it was a control hand, but because the hand needs IK bond constraints, is a completely different setting, right? It needs a Very different setup. So this is why this weird. But you see, it will this one will be connected here, and you'll see why very soon. So now I'm gonna pick this one. I'm gonna shift this bone, but this and ask to reset its position, right? So negate what we've transformed. We're gonna change Shift Alt B. You know, the changing its instead of stick, I want this one to be, yeah, B-bone. Or actually, let's try octahedral, right? Because, yeah, this bone will always be difficult to visualize. So this will be just a variation that will make it easier to visualize. And it is bigger than the, yeah, so you're gonna do this. So select it with Alt, hold Alt and left mouse button click. So it is this mech owner hand. Right, but click it. So I'm gonna F2 that. I'm gonna rename to MCH owner key target hand, and take this off. All right, so this, because I've duplicated here, it should probably, yes, it is here. And is it here? Yeah, it is also here, because it was the duplicate from that bone. So good, it's already in exactly in it cloned itself, right, in multiple, it's assigned itself to the same collections, right? So okay, let's grab here. Okay, we have it selected. Let's look for the other deformed skeleton and the control skeleton. Okay, right now we don't need to be looking at the deformed skeleton. It just make things harder to visualize. So take this off, this star, and now we're gonna solo option, right? And now what we're gonna do is that we're gonna clear its parent, because we don't want this weird parent here. It is currently parent offset to this, I think. Yeah, to the control forearm. So we don't want that. Alt P, clear parent, and this will be, as the name says, the target of an key bone constraint owned by the other bone there, which is the key owner. So tab to pose mode. What we're gonna do here is that we're gonna hold Alt, select the key owner, and yeah, hold Alt and left mouse button click, then select this. Okay, then we're gonna, actually it's the inverse first. Select this one first, then shift, select the mini bone there, right, the stick bone there, or select this one, then shift Alt left mouse button click on that, and there we go. So now this is the active one. So first we're gonna do Shift Control C. I think you know what this is the constraints, is the add with targets, right? Shift Control C. We're gonna start with a copy rotation bone constraint. So the key target will control the rotation, right, of the key owner, which I'm building for this this bone constraint for the key owner, the stick one. So sticky one. So we're gonna change here, yeah, full replace. It is very simple. Here I prefer to use pose space. I think it's anatomically correct. No, this is like word space could, I think it will always work, but let's use pose space, which relates to the armature object axis. Okay. So basically this is a full rotation. So if I copying, so if I select the key target, okay, nothing happening with grabbing, but with rotation, you see, full rotations, right? So that's fine, it's following. Now let's do it again for the key bone constraint. So that will be a little more tricky. So select that, shift select this one, and then shift Control C, we're gonna add an inverse kinematics or the I key bound constraint. And see, things now start to go nuts because the order here doesn't matter, but I think this order is more intuitive, or it's better. Okay, so I'm not gonna deal with poll targets in these stages. Can add later, but for now we're not gonna handle that, so ignore the poll target. We're gonna see that the chain length here is 0, so it's infinite. Just go until the root. Yeah, until the root bone, which doesn't have a name, so root like that. Why not? So let's go again. So here, okay, it is messed up. So what's happening is that it's going infinite. So we're gonna actually augment to 1, chain length of 1, chain length of 2, chain length of 3. Yeah, it is up to here, just as a regular I key bound constraint, except you see the hand. If that bone would represent the hand, just imagine it was here, right? It is actually broken, so it's being pushed back. So, and this is because this setup, we don't want to use the tail of the hand for the I key bound constraint. We want to use the head to be on that joint, this head here. So we want actually to, we want the head and not the tail. So so that means we turn off this, disable this use tail, so it will be using the head as the target, the final target, right? So it will be the head. And now this makes the I key bound constraint on this mechanism bone of the hand. And the reason I'm doing this is that this frees this control forearm bone from certain conflicts. So this will allow me to have a slightly freer, if that word exists in English, auto I key option when manipulating this bone. So this is a gain in some ways, but this is not the, usually we do this, we put the I key bound constraint straight on the shin or the forearm, but now this is much more powerful in regarding to auto I key option. It will still be constrained in some ways because of the I key chain of the I key bound constraint, but it will be slightly better. And then here, this makes that the starting from the head instead of the use tail, it will use the head, so it will start counting from not from the tail position, but from its head. So it's already counting 1, 2, and 3. So actually we don't want to cross the shoulder, we want just there. So you see there's a difference if you use tail or not. So with use tail, you'd need, yeah, of course, on the case of the hand, right? So anyways, you got the idea. If this was here, it will be 2 using tail, because tail here 1 and 2, right? And same idea. So so we use tail, no, and chain length of 2. That's it. So this sets up the I key bound constraint, but it's more complicated than that. But this is just the setup. I'm gonna save the beginning of the setup. So now if I grab the I key owner bone, the I key target bone, you see that it can control the arm just as a regular I key bound constraint. Very crude one, but functional. And the hand is still not following, but ignore that. This is completely constrained, so we can't do anything. Maybe it can scale, yeah, but we can't do anything. So this, but you see, it still has the parent to the, so it can give its I key chain to the rest of the rigs. So this is important. All right. So this is starting to build up correctly. So this is, now we can, what we can do is that we can select all these bones here. Actually, we're gonna do more than that. We're gonna select everything here from these arms. Shift Alt H to unhide everything if there's anything hidden. We're gonna, yeah, we don't need here the gonna symmetrize everything, but because it's easier right now to symmetrize everything, so gonna grab this and this and this, hold shift and keep clicking. And so this seems to be all right. Then we're gonna right mouse button click here and symmetrize, and let's verify on Control Tab to pose mode. Let's see. Yeah, grab this one. Okay, better if we just use the control skeleton, right? No, actually the control on the mechanism skeleton, right? And here we grab this one and see. Let's see if everything is working on both sides. Yeah, it's everything working. So all right, so this is the stage 1, folks. Congrats to followed up so far. And now we're gonna start stage 2. So I'm gonna save that. Yeah, so I'm gonna change here. And now, okay, so here is stage 2. This hand, did we make that hand? Sorry, folks, here a little, yeah, we made a hand, except that it doesn't have anything. No parenting, no bone constraints, nothing. Yeah, so, all right, let's see if everything is fine. Yeah. Maybe I need a break here. As I mentioned, this is a slightly experimental propositions, the first one that I ever try. I've made some tests before, but it's very important that this be tested by real people like you. And so if you can follow up on everything, that will be great. Okay. So now on stage 2, let's update. Oh yeah, forgot. So here we're gonna update stage 2. Welcome to stage 2, folks. So maybe we're not gonna do everything here today because, or not in this stream. Maybe I start the continuation today late in many hours later from this one. So stage 2, what we need to build now, I think, just let me check. It will be, let's see what we have in stage 3. So sorry, my mistake here. I didn't have in. Let's see what we have here. Yeah. Oh, the tweak and the master. Okay. All right. So sorry, folks. So basically we got a stage 2. Okay. So what we're gonna do now is that we're gonna, now that we have the control skeleton and the this IK bond constraint, we're gonna start to build a tweaker rig that will be fundamental for this master puppeteering skeleton for 3D animation in Blender, which, the way I call it, that doesn't rely on I key F key switching, because F key is a bitch. F key is a big problem. And I key bond constraint in Blender also is a big problem, the I key bond constraint. But the problem is that the F key, I key, they are very complicated. So in this rig, we can mimic some functionalities of the F key rig without an F key rig. We use a tweaker rig to do that. And this is why we're gonna make a new collection here. Actually, we're not gonna do like that. We're gonna bring this so we'll have an I key, an F key rig. So this control skeleton actually is a control skeleton which combines in itself the forward kinematics and to some extent and the inverse kinematics. Okay, what I'm doing this. So never mind, folks. So here we're gonna But we'll need the tweaker rig to have this feature. This tweaker rig is not the same tweaker rig for the cartoon bendy limbs, but we can upgrade it later on if we want. I never did it, but I think that it can totally be achieved. Is that the tweaker rig that I'm doing here is just for the joints, not for the middle of the limb. So it's a more control higher hierarchy stuff. So how to do this? We're gonna start by, yeah, it will be better if I have a new collection here. So it will be in the control one. So we're gonna add here. We're gonna bring this down here and gonna change this to tweaker skeleton, tweaker joints actually, yeah, tweak joints. All right, so having this, I use the green box here. All right, so tweak joints, tweaker joints. So I'm gonna on edit mode here, I'm gonna select this hand bone, for example, and Shift S and cursor to select it. No, Shift S is 3, cursor to active. So now it is on the base of this bone. So just gonna make sure we are in this thing selected. I'm gonna add a bone right here. Oh, there's a giga bones there. I don't know why this is happening. So we're gonna scale this down, and you're gonna Shift Control Alt A, Shift Control Alt A. So B-bone scale of that. All right, something like yeah, something like here is enough. We're gonna give these some custom properties later on. Custom property, no, I mean custom shape, sorry. So for now, we're just gonna do this, and now we're gonna F2 tick hyphen hand left. So this, I used to call this an F key hand, but it's actually it is just like that. We don't parent it to anything yet. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna make some change here before duplicating it. So default color, we could use this one because it relates to the tweak joints, but I've been using this one, which is maybe easier to visualize for me, which I'm daltonic slightly. Okay, so just adjusting here. Then now we're gonna Shift D. Okay, click, left mouse button click. Let's get this to global. Let's get this to, no, this one we want vertex, and make sure this is disabled, include non-edited disable. So just snap into the armature. So just hold control here. Oh, it's rotating. I see why. It's because, okay, we need to disable these things. All right, so just move. So there, no, still okay. So never mind. I think that, oh, it's because of this option. Sorry, folks. Align rotation to target. This can be done. Okay, snap here. There we go. Shift D, G, snap here. All right. So now we're gonna this one. Yes, we can select. Shift select the controls shoulder. Control P, keep offset. So parent, and this one same, but for the Shift Alt left mouse button click, the control upper arm, Control P, keep offset. This one will leave unparented right now. I'm gonna rename this, so tweak shoulder left and delete this, okay, and tweak elbow, yeah, tweak elbow left, and that's it, right? So now these are ready, except this one. So now you're gonna go on the master collection, bone collection, which already exists, maintaining this same cursor to active, right? This same joint there, right? We're gonna add another bone, but on this master collection, Shift A. We're gonna now rotate. This will be fully aligned orthogonally towards space. Rotate along the y-axis. I think is positive 90 degrees. Yes. So Shift, yeah, scale, Shift Control Alt A, B-bone scale. If you're not sure, it's just this gizmo here. If this doesn't work, try this, whatever. Okay, So here we're gonna give it this bone, maybe this size, yeah, maybe this for now. And we're gonna paint it, give it this red color. It's a Nike, so this will be the master MTR for me, master I key hand left. So this will be very important. We're gonna parent it to a bone that we don't have here yet. So we're gonna, you see this main hips. So we're gonna Shift Control Alt A. Let's expand it, and then we're going to, yeah, we're gonna Shift D. Move it, I don't know, maybe move it there, snapped in this joint. This actually I've been doing like here in the middle of the spine. It will be the COG, so select it, Control F2, sorry, F2. So COG can be just like this instead of master COG, no, COG of center of gravity. Then we're gonna parent it to the root. It's already, because it was duplicated, but this one, the main hips, not this one, which we don't need to use, but this one, we parent offset to the COG, keep offset. All right, and let me do this again. So select this control spine, the control, right? Not the deform one, the control spine. Then Shift S, select cursor to active. No, select cursor to select. So the middle of the spine, we want to position this. Shift S, selection to cursor 8. There we go. Okay, so now before we do this complete, here we're gonna select this master I key hand. Shift select the COG and Control P, keep offset. But this is still not ready. Now we want to parent the tweak hand to the master I key hand, Control P here. And now what I have is that I have this thing, and I have this that controls the COG, right? We can, but if I pick this one, you see that the master hand doesn't move, nor the tweak hand. So because it's parent, but select Alt Q. So what we're gonna do now, save. We're gonna change the settings here. So we're gonna pick the, sorry, this will not be clear this way. Let's select this mechanism skeleton collection, bone collection. Then let's also get the control skeleton, all the controls. Oh, actually we forgot to move the master. Okay, so select the master. So select it, Shift M to control the big one. Yeah, so now I don't need this one. Okay, so mechanism skeleton plus control skeleton. All right, and I have problem with the tweak skeleton as well. So also let's hide everything here. Select all for the tweak skeleton here. Shift M to control. Oh, it is hidden? No? Okay, we got some problem here. Shift M to... it is this one. Okay. So I don't know. I probably was confused about something. Okay, don't need that. And the mechanism, yeah, we just have this mechanism. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna pick... well, I thought that... Yeah, because this is, I'm using a stage 2, so just Shift Alt B, you know, chance to display as octahedral. This is better to visualize. Oh, actually, let's get the axis. Control 3 to visualize the axis. Reset the axis. Shift H. Oh, I'm on pose mode. Sorry, folks. Shift H. Let's go on edit mode here. Select this, Alt R, reset. select this, and this, Alt R, reset. These are aligned to orthogonally towards space, so in different orientations, but they are aligned. So this is parallel, right? So this is not a problem. So let's hide this axis again. Let's now get the octahedral thing here. If you don't find it, hold Alt and left mouse button click. Mechanism ikey T, ikey target. So we're gonna do actually something that is like this. We're gonna parent this to the tweak hand. Shift select the tweak hand, Control P, keep offset. So now what happens is that the ikey hand, now the tweaker hand controls, could be tweaker wrist, right? But tweaker hand controls this little bone, and we can have additional controllers with this. But this, of course, is not what we want. What we want now is that, by the ways, now that we have this tweaker hand, we can, let's just deselect the mechanism. So just the tweaker and not the control, just the control skeleton and the tweaker. So now we can pick this control metacarpals, go on edit mode, shift select also the tweaker hand as the active element in the selection. We want this turned on, right? So we are in edit mode. So before that, let's symmetrize these ones, right? And now let's do it again. Okay, so that will symmetrize this thing. Okay, this is the active, Control P, keep offset. So now everything on the hand should start following the okay, probably I forgot something on the deformed skeleton. Oh, the hand, of course. Oh, my mistake, folks. Actually, there's a deform hand. What is the parenting here? I just want to be sure. So say what is this? Because this is a bit confused. So this parents to the tweak hand, yeah, to the tweak hand. And the deform hand tweak. Okay, the deform hand also, but it's they are not they are individual. So just I need to parent the hand on the deform rig, right? Deform skeleton to the tweak joints there. So select it, shift select here, Control P, and that's it. This tweaker hand, it always will be for the deform rig. So although you have a deform hand, the thing is that this means deform rig following, while the mechanism rig, they mean control rig following in terms of the master stuff. Okay, by the way, this is a unsolo all. This is a quick favorite, sorry, that I have for pose mode only. For the bone manager, I think I've assigned unsolo all. I think it's this shortcut here, but you need to be on. Yeah, we can assign quick favorite to this exactly. So, but okay, I'm not gonna use it here because. So let's reset everything because it might not be working for your save. Okay, so what we want here, so see that now this one, the mechanism ikey target, which controls this, except that it remains connected to the control skeleton, right? It follows the tweak hand, right? And the tweak hand follows the master just by parenting. But now what we need to do is that we want to disjoint. You see, this is doing I key because it is grabbing the I key, because it is the I key target is which controls the I key on its own, right? It is just parent. So this one is controlling the I key. We don't want that. So in order to change this, I can rotate the hand. This basically this and this are doing essentially the same stuff right now, but now it's where things will get interesting. We're gonna disjoint this in some peculiar way. We're gonna select the master I key, and we're gonna shift select the master I mechanism I key target, and we're gonna shift control C, just a copy at a copy location with bone constraint with target. We just want here could be post space, right? And so now let's reset all, select all, and Alt Q, reset clear all transforms. So now you'll see that there will be a different behavior. When I pose and I grab the I key, master I key, I can rotate and I ignore the other side. We need to symmetrize. We have the I key thing, even though without a pole target, right? And when I pick the tweaker, I can offset the whole hand from the, right? I can offset. So this bone is no more following its parent. It's following through copy location the position of this bone exactly on the right, but it's still rotating by this. So this is stacking rotation, like not additively, just additively, but not in a bad way. So they are not conflicting anyhow, right? So it's just you rotate here, you can add rotation from here, so no problem. You can reset here, you can reset the rotation here. You see it's additive in a simple way. And this is what the tweaker rig should be doing. So to complete now this, because right now the wrist, these stuffs are getting trouble, we will require to implement the mechanism rig in between the control rig, control skeleton, and the deform skeleton. I didn't do that before because we can do directly actually these things from the deform rig, but we want to make sure that the automation for, like, say, helper deform rig, deform helper bones, to be automated with easier manners, and for that the mechanism skeleton apparently is more versatile than not having it. Right now I have mechanism rig, but just for certain areas of the, just for certain, we can have it everywhere, but in my rig it doesn't need, we don't need this because we're not doing I key F key switching or snapping, so I'm not using target rig for this kind of stuff. It will be some sort of target rig, but it's more like supportive rig for the, on one hand it will be supportive, in some way it will be a supportive for the helper deform rig, essentially that. And in other areas like here, the joints like here, it will be like fundamental for the puppeteering, master puppeteering skeleton. Okay, so I don't need to have it there, but we can, it will make also the rig more consistent. We don't need this for retargeting, animation retargeting, because like I tried from Mixamo, I can retarget directly on the control skeleton and using sometimes these other important bones. So anyways, I've made some tests and it works. So and we don't need a target skeleton, like a mechanism skeleton, for that so far I've seen. So here let's see if this is ready, and stage 3 would be on stage 3 we still don't have Okay, I guess the stage 3 is the is where I've reached. Yeah, so sorry, I was a bit confused, but that's it. So I have these are still not controlling just the hand, so it's just as I left. And here, then the mechanism, in this little amount of mechanism rig, we have the mechanism I key owner hand with a copy rotation bond constraint and I key bond constraint with use not tail, not to use tail, but using the its head as the I key thing, right? And here it is the copy location to the master I key hand. So we achieved right now stage 3. So we are beginning stage 3. Let's show everything, right? So yeah, that's sure. Just disable all this stuff, right? And now the next step would be to make the mechanism rig, I believe. So it should be on stage 4. Yeah, you see there. We have a mechanism here. It's a B-bone display type, right? So what they have is they have a combo, copy transforms and stretch 2. So this is a bit special. I'm gonna show how we're gonna start. So stage 3, folks. So let's continue here. I think we'll be able to continue this to achieve this rig. So because it's not super complicated, we're gonna get the sidebar region onto the bone collections here. So we want this one, the mechanism skeleton, but we want to be looking at the deformed skeleton as well and the control skeleton. All right. So what we want is, yeah, let's hide the control skeleton. So let's just pick these bones here, these 3 ones, and we're gonna tab to edit mode, and we're gonna shift D ESC, and then we're gonna shift Control Alt A. This is B-bone scale, right? We're gonna change this size here, right? B-bone size. We're gonna make them very big right now, but then we're gonna show the control skeleton. We want them to be like in the middle. So shift Control Alt A about here. Yeah, closer to the, okay. We're gonna change their sorry, I'm gonna change their viewport display here to hold Alt, keep holding Alt, and team this one for mechanism rig. And also we're going to now, because they are duplicates, their parent is Control 2. Let's look at the parenting. So the parenting relations here is control shoulder, but let's hide the control skeleton again. Let's return here, and now let's break the parent here, because the deformed skeleton was parented to the control skeleton. So instead we're just gonna parent to this immediately next higher hierarchy, which are the mechanism skeleton, right? One by one. So you see no FK here. In this way we get this displacement of the more versatile stuff. Also, let's do something that I forget here. So select here the deform shoulder, shift Control Alt A for B-bone scale. Actually, this and this and this, yeah, all of them. Let's scale them, B-bone scale them up just a little, like here. All right. Then unselect all, hide this, sorry, looks like we need to bring this mechanism into the mechanism skeleton rig, right? So also this one. So Alt M, so they will be moved out from the, or M, I think, Alt M move to It's this operator here that I'm using. Move to collection, move to the mechanism skeleton, and then Shift M also to the big mechanism one. Let's see if that's correct. No, this didn't work. So you need actually to have them visible. Shift M, mechanism here. And now let's check. They are there and they are also here. Great. So they are there and they are also there. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is that also gonna pick these ones and change this color just to give variation. The shoulder is a bit special, so hold Alt. Let's give this other one, but just for extra thing. So now we're gonna make the mechanism bound constraints here. Because this is pure parenting relation, we don't need to do anything. We don't need to bound constraint the deform rig here. We're gonna just set go to pose mode. So select the target first, the mechanism, and then shift click select the deform forearm. So shift C. So we're gonna make two bound constraints. A copy. No, sorry. We're gonna. No, sorry. What I'm doing. This is a mistake. But let's start from here. Actually, it'll be easier. So we need the I'm using the wrong okay, stage 3. Okay, sorry folks, hope you weren't doing what I was doing. Okay, we need a rig that you go to stage 3.5 or you can work on whichever you are working so far. If you have all these things that we've done so far, that's good. So I'll have to, unfortunately, I have to rebuild these things here. It will be quick, so I'm gonna actually hide this. Yeah, just the deformed skeleton. Okay, so pick these 3 ones. So Shift D and expand here. So I'm gonna then Alt M to mechanism skeleton. Then we're gonna check here. Something wasn't moved. Shift M, just making sure everything is here. Okay, so now we're gonna grab these ones and change this. Hold Alt. Okay, that should be it for now. And then they don't see, they seem a bit too big. Let's okay, so what we're gonna do now is that we need the deformed skeleton. No, not the deformed skeleton. Sorry, we need the twig skeleton, and that's it. This one has the same parent of the control shoulder. So it's parent to the control shoulder, which is here. Good. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna start with this one because it's easier. It's a combo thing, so we're gonna reproduce it many times. So select this tweaker shoulder and hold Shift Alt in here and get the the names. I forgot the names. Yeah, let's do the names. It's fundamental. So we can get these ones. Yeah, so we're gonna Control F2, B for bones here if it is not. So instead of def4, gonna get mechanism, and here also strip characters with right digits punctuation. Hold Shift to get this, otherwise you don't get them. Okay, now that's Control 1. Let's see. Okay, names are correct. So now what we're gonna do is that we're going to bring the tweaker skeleton. Gonna get on edit mode here. Pose mode, tab to pose mode. So select this, Shift select this, the mechanism upper arm. Shift Control C, you're gonna do a copy transforms. But this doesn't work very well right now because we want something like a local space, and but it's not really doing much good here. Well, this one seems to be working, but there is another way to get it. It's replacing, but using its local spaces. I think this should be working fine, but what I did in another in this rig, we can do this too. We're gonna make a fake parenting solution, although this one is much easier, but I'm not sure it will work. Maybe there are some mistakes here. So before original for the mix, target in most cases local space here, and custom space for the owner. So you're gonna mimic a parenting relation. So it's as this will be parent to the tweaker, but as if to copy transform. So you're gonna copy the armature here, and then copy the tweaker skeleton here, and it's the same thing here. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna select all and reset. All right, so now we pick this, and it's doing the same thing, right? So this is a mimic, it's a fake parenting transforms. We can do the pivoting thing of the parenting offset relations. Very cool. So this is a special feature, this setup here. Okay, then we're gonna pick this tweaker elbow and gonna shift select the mechanism upper arm, and gonna shift Control C to a stretch to bone constraint, and just leave this like as it is. Don't touch anything. If you need to reset something, then you need to reset everything. Then maybe you probably have to reset here with backspace original length, but this can be very problematic, but in principle this is working. So we have this thing going here. We see that we don't have the parenting here. I don't have, because I have to redo it. So I'm gonna break these parents here. And okay, then now we can see here this working, and probably there we need to do some symmetrization, because this is very glitchy, very horrible to watch. So we're gonna pick everything, just right, symmetrize, and now that should be, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so you see the shoulder is not ready, but the upper arm is ready. So gonna do the same here, exactly the same thing. Sorry, we can hide this. So just keep the tweaker skeleton and the mechanism skeleton. So this and this. Actually, in this time, we're gonna just do a select this, shift select this, and shift alt C, which is actually my shortcut for copy constraints to selected bones. So the active bone will copy everything here to override everything. So this is dangerous. Shift alt C, and of course this is the stretch to madness. So what you're gonna do is, because we can't find the bone properly, go on edit mode, right? Tap to edit mode, select only this bone, which is the one with the crazy stuff. Disable the stretch to for now. Change this target, instead of the tweak shoulder, the tweak elbow. F2 control C, ESC, select it back, control V, that's it, and collapse this, then stretch 2. Now we're gonna reset this to 0 because it's disabled. We're gonna change the here tweak wrist, same thing, copy this name here, and control V, enable and reset. Okay, it's already reset, fine, and that is it. So now we get this. So now you have a tweaker rig that is working like an F key rig in some sense. The proof of that is that we can, if we want, we can get, I've made this into a shortcut. It's a backslash, the keyboard next to the Z. So I make a backslash here, 3D cursor, then select this, Shift S, cursor to active 3, then pick this, you see, F key, no, no, it's like here, Shift S3, F key, right? So, but we can do this, but there'll be some deforms there, some stretch and squashing. Reset all, select all, reset all, rotate. Yeah, we can use this. We don't need totally this, right? There are other ways, right? Not using the cursor right now. I've just toggled here, right? And anyways, this is not all that there's. That is just some presentation, of course, some features that we can use. Anyways, we are not using this control skeleton here. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is that the shoulder is a bit different because it needs some other types of automation. Currently, we have what we can do is that a combo, so it will be here, hide the control skeleton. So we're gonna do the same trick here. So we're gonna like Shift Control C, stretch 2. Okay, don't touch that. If the bones were to rest position the beginning, and that should be good enough. Then, okay, it's doing this, but there's something else we can do for to improve this automation of the shoulder. We can, in relation to the arms rotation, to the posing of the hand of the forearm and to the joint position in 3D space, we can, for example, get a dumped track from the tweaker elbow here, right? This we can get this a dumped track after the stretch to bone constraint. So Shift Control C, dumped track, just like that, and we're gonna reduce, yeah, y-axis. So you see it is a bit displacing there. We're gonna reduce this by a lot, like just a little something like this. And so this means that basically, let's reset all. So it's see normal, but if you see when we pose the, let's get the master bone here of the, because the elbow is moving, the shoulder is trying to follow up in a slight amount. So it's a very tiny amount of, even though the Ike bone constraint doesn't manipulate the control rig. The Ike bone constraint doesn't manipulate the control rig, but it's manipulating the, you see, the mechanism shoulder, which is the parent of the deform shoulder bone. So in this way we can stack. This order of stacking works. The opposite, the inverse, will make that it will restretch the tail, so it will break the setup. It will not be good. So you need the dumped track after, right? So, and we can still manipulate here, and we can still manipulate here. So it's like very, very versatile. We have a very simple automation there. And we have, this is like a master shoulder bone, right? It's very important to have this kind of control here. But it's just a tweaker bone. Okay, so here we usually don't pose this unless we really need some sort of base F key. Yeah, very basic, right? So very important. So we can actually rotate from the 3D cursor, right? So it's very simple to get this stuff. But there is another setup here, which is pinning, elbow pinning. I can elbow pin from the hand, the wrist, but I cannot elbow pinning from the whole torso. You see, the elbow is moving, it's not pinned. So that will be something else. We're not gonna make this immediately, but we're gonna continue building this for the, but we can pin it directly from the shoulder, right? Of course, if we had tweaker bones everywhere here, like we have here. We could have some sort of mimicking of this feature, but it's not the same thing, right, as total pinning, like what we have in the hand here. Okay, let's select all and reset. So I think now this is ready for many things, because see this, there's no interaction with this mechanism skeleton here of the limbs to the what happens to the skeleton of the hand, but it's still relevant for some sort of regularity in the rig. Yeah, it's all in the control rig. At least it looks like there's a skeleton, but see, they are disjoint, and they need to be disjoint because there's a special case rig, right? So anyways, now we have, okay, change this to individual origins. We seem to have everything here ready for the last stage, I think. So let's check what so now I should be going to, oh sorry folks, I think I forgot. Yeah, I forgot, need to train this better. So now we're going to stage 4. I was on stage, let's see what the stage 4 has got, and apparently it has got the same thing. So here there's nothing extra here. Apparently it's all set there. So if the rig there is not correct in both sides, then just make sure you unsolo all, unhide all bones, select all on one side, go on edit mode and resymmetrize, right? And now this should be fine. So now finally, in direction to stage 4, okay. Just checking if there's anything that I might be forgetting here. Okay, folks, so we are going to the last remaining select mirror, just use this thing to octahedral. Yeah, this is not batching, I think. You need to hold out here too. Okay. Oh, this is the deform hand. My bad. This is B-bone. Is this one actually. All right. Okay, this seems to be good. All right. So the last stage here, stage 5. Sorry, this is stage 5. We are going for the last stage now. Yeah. So I've messed up 2 stages here, but for the first experimental online workshop, that should be fair enough, right, folks? So I'll be improving this. It is easy to forget, right? And also it's confusing because as I'm working this gets worked on, and you get the idea, right? So very confusing for myself. So let's see what we have here. Okay, so we're gonna make a special automation for the control of this bone. So right now we have a system, we have this behavior. When I pose the I key, the hand stays where it is, right? It stays with the orientation, right? Because I'm not rotating it, but we're gonna make a different setup here. So what we need to do, folks, is that we're gonna, all right, we're gonna go on edit mode. We're gonna go for the master collection here, bone collection, and we're gonna okay, because of some problem with the symmetrized rig, right, we're gonna just disable this for a moment, because as we be creating new bones, this will mess up. So we're just gonna symmetrize them directly from here. So just select this thing here. We're gonna Shift D to duplicate this bone. We're gonna B-bone scale it, Shift Control Alt A. We're gonna make this yeah, actually gonna make this bigger. This will be like the parent, the higher hierarchy. Scale down a little, and then instead scale this up, right? Okay, then we can do this, right? Then we're gonna pick this one, and we're gonna Shift D again. We're gonna make it smaller, but now we're gonna instead yeah, we're gonna change its color. This will be a mechanism bone, sort of a, gonna change here to mechanism here. We're gonna also Alt B, Shift Alt B, actually it's here, shortcut for this, Shift Alt B to stick. Yeah, so this bone will be not appear anywhere, it will be just a trick. So we're gonna check its parent. We're gonna, you see it's parent to the center of gravity. All of these are parent to the center of gravity. We're gonna change it. So this one, we can reduce a little here. Okay, this one we're gonna change its color to viewport display to this one. It will be called a aim I key hand left, and this will be called mechanism aim hand left. Yeah, something like that. I should find better name for this. Maybe, yeah, this is about a custom shape that we're gonna override transform, but this will be later in a moment, right? So what we're gonna do is then we're gonna change the parenting here. This, the master I key, although the name is the master, we're gonna Shift select and parent it instead to the aim I key hand. Actually, aim, just aim hand, right? So to simplify, and now what we're gonna do is that we will need, in order to visualize this properly, we need some custom shapes. So it will be very, very simple. Actually, we're gonna also, since we're gonna do custom shapes, we're gonna do 3 custom shapes, very with empty objects, right? So just for these ones, for this, and for this. So go on object mode, Control Tab to object mode. Let's add a collection here. We can probably delete this. Yeah, it doesn't need that. So new collection here. We don't need the collection of the custom shapes, the widgets, to be inside the linking collection. If you're gonna link this somewhere else or append, you use this collection. Don't need to bring the custom shapes. Maybe if you're appending, yes, but not if you are linking. So here, widgets, necromancer, yes. Then we're gonna, this is doing because I have multiple scenes, right? This is why this gets annoying, right? So anyways, we're gonna, inside here, we're gonna Shift S on the 3D viewport area to 1, world origin. We're gonna add Shift A empty, so we're gonna add single arrow. It is here, grab, Shift A cube, it is here, Shift A empty circle, okay, it is here. So we're gonna change these names here. So this is the arrow, so empty F2, empty arrow, actually yes, like that. Yeah, like this, Control C that. Widget, there's already on the last stage, we are in the last stage, but there's a lot of, that's why it's duplicating. Okay, it's calling it the next 001. Okay, so here widget circle, I guess, yes. Yes, and then the last remaining one, widget cube. All right, cube 001. So we hide. Yeah, I don't need this. Don't need this. We can hide them now, and yeah, you can leave them because we're gonna gonna go on pose mode. Select. Let's start with these ones here. So I'm gonna do the 3, then bone tab, custom shape. So click here, WGT, hold Alt and empty circle. And well, I remember, so I don't have it on, so I'm gonna go on object data. Here is viewport display for the armature. Yeah, the data tab for the armature object. Shapes is disabled. This is Control 4 assigned shortcut for me. So Control 4, I can toggle this on and off, right? Control 1, names. Control 3, axis, and the rest I don't care. So for now, maybe this will be good. So Control, I was missing this one. Okay, so turn this on, and then let's return to the bone tab. And so now we need to hold Alt. I think it's the rotation X. Hold Alt. No, it's turns out it's probably the Z. Hold Alt and enter. That's it. That's good. Then not gonna symmetrize anything yet. So you see, we don't need this thing here. We could target manually, but yeah, so can't find it. This one is terrible for the hand, right? Apparently I don't seem to be able to. It's too tiny. Okay, so we don't need this anyway, so we're gonna hide this. So we're gonna use the empty from this scene. Yes, empty arrow. Here we're gonna do probably 90 degrees. No, it's negative 90 degrees, right? We can change the scale here. Yeah, I do this if you want, some distortion, but actually I want to scale along Z. Yeah, let's make it more elongated. This is too much, right? Exaggerated. Okay, just a little like this. And maybe we can squash it a little. It could be fun, all right? So that we have an idea of its orientation, right? And we're gonna change this. Oh, this is the wrong bone. Okay, sorry. Let's copy to selected, copy, right mouse button click, copy all to selected, copy all to selected. Okay, so this was a mistake. Let's reset, backspace, right? And here we're gonna empty cube. So this is terrible. Select all and hold Alt for this. This terrible widget for the hand, but whatever. This is what I've got for this presentation right now. So we're gonna expand this again. This bone was smaller. That's why we're gonna do this. I have to do this. All right, this is good enough. Okay, so now because this is the parent of this can offset, but this is not interesting. Nothing is happening right here, right? So of course, because what we need to do to make this thing to work, we need the help of the. We're gonna go on edit mode. We don't need the widgets right now. We're gonna pick any of those bone with this positioning here. Shift S, select cursor to active. Exactly here, we're gonna add a bone in. We're gonna make a new mechanism skeleton. We're gonna call it aim. Aim, whatever. Mechanism aim. I don't know. Yeah, mechanism aim. Okay. So, oh no, sorry. Mapping. Okay, so basically, this means that we're gonna make new bones in this place, which will serve for mapping some dumped tracks in some sort of pose space thing. In some sort, that means in terms of the armature of actually the center of gravity dependent. So what we're gonna do? is that we're gonna, looks like that we have some wrong orientations here, right? Again, so we're gonna just realign this here. Let's enable this back. Just, I think these things are displaced. Just a little fix here. Control A, right? Aligned. Okay. So we're gonna make a bone that looks like this. We can use it indeed. Yeah, we can. Gonna Shift Control Alt A. We're gonna use B bones for now because it's easier. But we're gonna reposition this to the 3D cursor because it will be easier to reposition instead of scaling it. So Shift S, selector to cursor, GX about here. So you see it will be on the same rest position. It's fully aligned sideways and front, and not on the, yeah, I mean it is aligned in terms of height, and in terms of this orientation here, it's fully aligned, so it is not gonna displace this bone. Some bones that will have the tracking bone constraint. So we're gonna rename this. We're gonna bring this to this color here, for example. These bones will be invisible. Let's make them smaller. We can bring them very closer together. It doesn't really matter right now. And now we're gonna also Shift D here, cancel. Shift Control Alt A to be bone there. We're gonna disable this, delete this one. We're gonna we're gonna zero out its transforms here. Its lateral transform, so X0 and tail X0 for the so it's total. It just moved there to the center. We're gonna scale it be bone size like this. So it's sort of big stuff there, right? But we can Shift Control Alt Y, yeah, Y. So gonna make this something squashed like that. So it doesn't matter, right? We're gonna parent this. Now enable the x-axis mirroring thing for edit mode. Select, we parent the mini bones on the bigger bone. So keep offset. Now both are parented. We're gonna pick this Shift Alt X. This is actually my shortcut for the select mirror. I don't like the default shortcut. So select mirror, right? And then select mirror extend, Control F2 to bones, find and replace. No, let's do a set, no, find and replace. Yeah, so whatever is tweak, shoulder, we change to actually map hand. Yeah, map hand, that's it. And take off the digits, they will reappear. No, they didn't. Okay, so maybe the name was different. Anyways, we got this. Then we're gonna copy this map hand. We're gonna pick the big one and Control V, map hands, because it's a central bone. And then this one, we parent it to the center, precisely, exactly to the center of gravity bone. So that will be, that means this bone will be in the same hierarchy level of this bone, which is parent to the. So what happens that when I move the center of gravity, these things move together. We don't pose them, right? This usually, I don't find any use to pose them usually for 3D animation. So they always follow, and strangely enough, curiously enough, bone manager extension. Okay, we don't. Yeah, they, even though they stay in place there, right? It won't affect their. Okay, apparently, sorry, I've got lost in there. Let's select everything here again. Yeah, here, Shift Alt H, Shift Alt X. Yeah, get all of 3. Alt M. Apparently, I didn't. Alt M. So move them to mechanism. Move them to just Shift M here to include them, assign them to mechanism mapping. Okay, now this is good. Okay, so now if I just look that they are. There's just this for this. And now let's conclude this setup here. We have these 3 bones. Of course, this one should go to the mechanism rig, but not quite yet. We're gonna play with this for now. We're gonna use the mini one, map hand left, shift select the big arrow here, aim hand, shift control C, dump track. And now what to go, bone constraints tab, we get to invert this. Instead of the direction of the arrow, the inverse of it. So it will be basically this bone will always following that orientation. You see that the hand is following this orientation. I cannot rotate this bone in any, but I can rotate this bone. So here I have the original set behavior of the I key for the hand, and here I have this orientation, and they are additive in a non-destructive fashion, and that's fantastic. And so I don't pose this, but if I pose this, they move both hands. It's weird, right? I can pick, of course, it's that, but usually you don't want to. I don't find any reason for that. But you see, there's a little problem here. We have this offsetting of this, which is not a problem. The arrow will always be oriented to. So see, the center of gravity carries them together. So that's some sort of good stuff, right? So, and this, although they stay there, you see the arrow doesn't change, right? It sticks there. All right, so select all, reset. Okay, so what we're gonna do that to solve that, we're gonna first, we're gonna pick the mechanism one, which is parented to the COG. It is wrong. Actually, we're gonna parent it to the master I key hand, because this will cause it to be to mimic some sort of dependency cycle. We're gonna make a fake dependency cycle, which will help us have this bone follow this bone. Actually, this bone follow this bone. Actually, it's not the bone that will follow. So you see, this will make a dependency cycle, but what we're gonna make is that to make the widget follow this bone. So you're gonna get this and use the same. Yeah, I've did the copy constraint to selected bone. So this copied this stuff, right? No, not yet. Okay, sorry. Shift select this, Shift Alt C. There we go. So now reset all. So they are doing exactly the same thing, right? Except that the parent here is the master I key hand, and the parent here is the center of gravity. So now is going the trick. So we don't pose this bone, right? So actually we gonna copy the name of this mechanism bone here, F2 Control C. We're gonna already move it to the mechanism skeleton. Yeah, gonna open here. We're gonna look at it. We're gonna hide this. We don't need the mapping anymore. We're gonna Shift M to the big mechanism bone collections, right? So now it can be found here and it can be found here. All right, now we don't need to be looking at this. We're gonna pick this one indeed, and we're gonna get its viewport display, custom shape panel, subpanel. We're gonna get override transform, Control V, to that mechanism, which always stays here, by the way. So that means that even if I try to displace the rig, the arrow widget will, not the bone, the arrow widget will follow this mechanism bone here. So if I Control 4 to not see the You know, that's why we get these shapes here. Show shapes, Control 4. My shortcut, so my assign shortcut, you can assign that to right mouse button click on the option and the checkbox and change shortcut, assign shortcut, right? So, or quick favorites if you have too many shortcuts. Anyway, so then Control 4. So actually the bone is here, but doesn't matter because the arrow, the important thing is where the arrow, right? So this will not make the rig too awkward looking. Something is looking weird, I think. No, it's just some, no, it's just the mesh. Okay. The way I was posing. Okay. So now we select all, reset all. We can hide this map, the mechanism skeleton. We're gonna select this thing. We see that the widgets are a bit too small here, so gonna select them. Gonna go to this thing here. Gonna widget var width to 0.5. Hold Alt Enter. And for this one, we're gonna place maybe 2, and for this one, also 2. They are more important. Wireframe, I don't care. 2. And I think that should be good enough. Yeah, this is a horrible widget. Don't recommend to use this. I don't want to be using this to reposition this because I need to know the exact value to position it there. So never mind. So I don't care about this. It's just for demonstration here. And I think it is rotating, but it's just because of the widget. The bone is not rotating. So this is also, so maybe this could be confusing, but at least when we rotate the, yeah, we rotate here, it's stacked, so it's sort of make it more visually organized, right? And that's pretty cool. So you have select all, reset. So you have this behavior again, right? It's very cool. And we have this behavior, and we have so sorry, something. I think I've made the parenting incorrect. Aim hand, COG, master I key hand. No. Oh no, this is normal. Is absolutely normal. Is that this is the what matters? I was just tired. Is behavior of the hand is correct, right? And here it rotates the hand naturally, and here it doesn't, right? We can manipulate these all rotations here, and here we can manipulate only certain rotation. I think is the, yeah, so here we don't manipulate the too many rotations, but here we can do everything anyways. Okay. It's not the, okay, reset all. Yeah, so here I have this for some reason, and yeah, so this is the expected rotation that we are allowed because of the dumped track. It locks some other rotation, right? But okay, we have this, and then we have, and here, so if I can stack the motion, right, the way I want. So here always the hand will be like this, and here always if I grab, and the arrow is always following this bone. So that is the conclusion of this yeah, of the, so this was the final thing that I've got. Also remember to symmetrize everything, right? Of course. Yeah, and hide everything, unsolo all, and then make sure you get this crazy stuff, all this symmetrized, and there it is. So this is the custom arm rig for a master puppeteer skeleton. It's what I'm using mainly, and it can't get, It can't get much simpler than that. It's there is still a few more features like the pinning joint from the torso that I've mentioned. Then there is also the helper rig, which I intend to develop on top of this mechanism rig. So we have fan bones, smoother bones, bendy bones. We can have twister bones too. I've been using bendy bone for the forearm, but the twister bones are actually cool. And we could have, of course, the rigified default tweaker bones for the bendy limbs, which I never used, but from this kind of character, I find it too weird. But I think it's usable for animation, like especially doing action scenes. Maybe you want not only some breaking of the joints, like sometimes you want really the limbs to be bendy in some very crazy ways, more than what I have here. But so you see, we can use the tweaker on the joints, the tweaker bones, to mimic some sort of F key posing. So you don't need to be doing F key switching all the time if you know how to use this accordingly. So there are of course this is not sufficient because you need some way to do this tweaking from the here, and it's not a problem if this disconnects, right? If this gets offset. But okay, folks, this is I'm not here to give theory of this or explanations too much, although I did. The idea here really the first online workshop, so I deviated a little, but fundamentally you got through all those 5 stages, and I hope that was interesting. I think now you're able to build this rig. Now we're gonna make the same similar for the leg, but for the leg, because of the advanced foot rig, this will be quite more complicated than of the case of the hand, but it will be very similar in most parts, but you'll need a special setup there to make it work. But the principles are the same. So this is the limbs rigging for the custom rig of the master puppeteering skeleton for 3D animation in Blender, which purpose is, I need to demonstrate that. So basically, let's just pick the control skeleton. Is that if I pick this thing now, I can hold shift, select this bone here. So let's select the tweaker rig, and just to have it, if I can extend with the Alt X to enable, my shortcut for the tool auto I key option here, right? So if I get the auto I key length, just roll the mouse wheels, right? If I expand this to 3, I can I key pose the arm through the I key bone constraint at the same time as the auto I key option, extending the inverse kinematics functionality to the shoulder and even to other bones that will be in the base of the F key of the connected skeleton. So that's the chest. Then there will be the next one is the spine. You see I'm augmenting the auto I key length 5, 6, then 6 it start to move everything because there's a reverse spine here. The hips is pointing downward, and this is something that I need to make another thing about it. Okay, so anyways, I'm not gonna explain how this auto I key option works entirely. This you can practice, but this allows us to have in the same way of posing some sort of F key and I key without requirement to do I key switching, I key F key switching, keyframing and stuff like that. So of course this we don't need to be posing too much, right? We can do the idea is to do as much as we can from the control skeleton, right? And because with the auto I key, whatever is upward it's F key, and whatever it's downward, it's I key, right? It's the I key chain starting from the one that we've grabbed, and we can grab many bones. That's why we can even, I don't like it, but we could even disconnect at this bone. Now we can just get the auto I key option there, but if I pick this, for example, I can combine them. I can still combine too big auto I key length. Let's just skip it one, okay? So I can still do this, right? And there's more we can do with auto I key. So it's very fantastic, in my opinion. It's a feature that needs improvement. So you see, I don't have an I key bone constraint for the head. I will have eventually for the next workshops, right? But yeah, because we can have an I key bone constraint for the head that would allow us to pin the head just as the hand is pinned there, right? From the I key bone constraint, right? Okay, folks, so that's it. Don't forget to symmetrize. I don't remember if I did it, but anyways, that's all the stages completed. So hope that you enjoyed. Hope that I wasn't too fast or too slow or too confused. I was using all the time this, I never turned it off, this option here. So I hope that was followable. Please leave some comment, critique, feedback, anything you want. Let me know, please. It's very important. I want to know if this is a good approach and how you are able to, and if it's good for this kind of content. If I should continue doing this or not, an improvement. From my part, it sounds very feasible now, but I'm not watching, I'm not doing the tutorial, so I really need the feedback in order to understand. Maybe I can do slower, maybe I can swap this more. I wasn't even able to think about that. But yeah, please leave your comment if you have, feel free to do that. That will contribute to this progress. So thanks for watching, folks. Take care, happy blending. See you next time, and have a nice week.